Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Weekly Wave. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday. Our first slide has to do with accountability reporting. The pre-assessment pre-code has been open since November and it'll close on January the 12th. The enrollment graduation review opened on the 15th and it closes on January 15th. The toolkit is available at the link below. So we'll have this slide presentation posted to where we normally post it. So you can go back and have access to that information. Our next slide has to do with the new transfer app. The app is going to be available on January 1st. We've created a transfer form for families and for districts. The district is going to determine the capacity, and districts must report their capacity by January 1, April 1st, July 1st, and October 1st. However, because the tool is only going to be out there January 1st, the district shall have until the 15th to enter your capacity. And Eric, are you at a point where you can demo this?
I will demo it, but let's get through the slides first and we'll come back into that.
Okay, sounds good. Validation errors, continue to work on your validation errors. Each error has a guidance that tells you how to correct the error in the help column. In the CIF XML field is the data that you can provide your vendor for assistance in resolving the error. When creating new WAVE accounts, you'll need to contact OMES at servicedesk@omes.ok.gov, and it does take about 24 hours for you to gain access, for it to show up. So just please be patient when trying to get that access. Our contact volume, please allow 24 to 48 hours turnaround time for response while we investigate your specific issue. And also, please, once again, I'll just reiterate it, we still are getting emails from districts that includes a student's full name. We don't need that to look up the information, just provide the local ID or the STN only. And if you have questions, you can email us at studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov, and other guidance and documents are can be found at the website underneath that. So I don't know if you're ready right now, Eric. Okay, I can't hear you.
Yeah,
okay.
I can.
All right, so he's going to demo the transfer tool for everyone.
I am going to demo the transfer tool. I am not going to show absolutely everything in here. We're going to because of FERPA, we're not going to show all the students. I was reviewing the data that's feeding this right now, and it's from last year, so I'm sure that there are lots of students that are still active, and so I'm not going to go everything through here, but I will show you kind of what it looks like. So when you come into single sign-on, it'll be its own app. I'm not going to show you that right now, but it'll be its own app. You'll click on it, will migrate. You'll have the same access you have now on January 1st. But we're going to move over everything that was currently in our transfer system over to this one. So this is what it looks like. You can come in here to the front page, and this is the home page. You'll see that there's new transfers, search transfers, open transfers, view notification, district reports, and administration. Some of this you will have access to, or some of this you will not. I think the administration part, if I'm not mistaken, you may have the administrative reports, but you may not have the application settings. Right now we're looking at PVine because it's the first, because I have a state view, it'll automatically go to your view for your district, but since I have a state view right now, it's showing all of them, so I can come in and pick which district I would like to see. So I'm going to move over to, I'm just going to pick somebody at random. Norman, you're it. And then select. Okay, so you see that Norman in this system, which again, this is a bunch of fake stuff that we've been creating as we've tested. They have 2 open transfers that are in progress, okay, 2 year to date. Emergency transfers for previous requests, and then we'll have this new thing called virtual transfers, which is basically just transfers to a virtual district, anything with a Z in it. You can click this here. I'm not going to do that, but it will take me directly to my open in progress transfers. You can just hit that button. It's kind of a button. You see it kind of pops up a little bit. I don't know if you can see the animation, but when you hover over it, it pops up a little bit, folds itself a little bit, and you can click that and it will take you to your open in progress transfer list. Okay. This new transfer page is for when a parent doesn't have internet access and chooses to turn in a actual printed copy of the transfer request form, and you decide to take it that way. You can do that. It is available. You would come in here and you would type, basically input what they put on this transfer sheet. Okay, that's what you would do. And we can kind of walk through this, but you open transfer, you can pick a date that you received. You have to pick the date and the time that you received it, not the date and time you're entering it. That is very important because of the first come first serve rule and statute. It would be highly important to receive, to stamp it or stamp your forms or mark it in such a way that you know exactly what date and time you received that form from a parent, because that is in the order that the student will be placed into the queue as you go through processing these applications. So you hit next. The receiving district, so that's you. If the parent's giving you a form, that would be you. So we're gonna put Norman here again. I'm gonna pick on Norman a little bit today. And then you pick your site in Norman. We'll pick Madison Elementary. Hit next. A resident district, where do they live? Where, the district they live in. Let's say they live in Oklahoma City. So pick Oklahoma City and hit select, and then pick another elementary school and hit next. Now, you have to look up the student. You can look them up by first name, last name, or SDN. Okay. You have to have one of those 3 things to look them up. I'm not going to go any further because I'm not going to look up any students, but you will need the parent information, and you will need some other information like, are they military? Are they foster? Are they, there's some other questions on there on that form. Make sure I've got the form in front of me here. Is a teacher employed at your school, or is a parent employed at your school? I probably, as a teacher. Do they have is there a receiving district that provides a specialized deaf education program if it's needed? Those types of things are asked on the form that you'll have to also answer down here in number 6 when you get down there. Okay. So you can search transfers. Basically, you're going to have your own district already loaded. So you can select a school, a site, and look at all the transfers to that transfer requests to that school site. I'm not going to show you that again because FERPA, but you can go in here to the open queue. I'll show you this. This is an older a student that's no longer with us anymore, but this is where your queue is. It'll show you all the students that you have in waiting here. Okay. So if you have 12, it'll have a list of 12 and it's in order. Okay. And it'll blur out the ones that you can't process, and you have to make a decision on the first one, and then the second one, and then the third one, and then the fourth one. It'll blur them out. The ones that won't be blurred out are the ones that are military or foster. Those you have to accept no matter what. So you don't really get an option in military or foster students. For everyone else, it just blurs them out until you've dealt with the first one that's not one of those. Okay. Notifications, you can sign up. You can sign people up to receive notifications for all your transfers. That is still available. And before I get into the reports and the submissions, here's how this is actually going to work. There's going to be a electronic form on the SDE website. Okay. And parents are going to be pointed that way. I'm going to kind of bring this over here. It's right now it's on the accreditation website and the student transfer section, but it's going to be a lot easier to find than this. This is a printable form of the student transfer application form, but that will turn into the actual form that they click to go, and parents would click to go in and submit a transfer request. That form that they fill out electronically on our website will transfer all that data that they put on to their transfer into the system. So you won't have to come here and look at this. This will be all into the SSO backend system. So whenever you're looking at it, you'll be looking at it in this application here. But parents will submit their data here. And when they submit, and if they provide an email address, we will continually update them for you. So as soon as they hit submit, within 10 or 15 minutes, they'll receive an email saying we received your request, and it is currently being reviewed by the district, the district you requested to transfer to. As you go through and process those, if you approve that student, it will send an email to the parent saying your transfer request has been approved. If you deny, it will send an email to the parent saying it was denied for whatever reason, and you'll have to put a reason why you deny it. And then if we don't get the information that we need in order to get you this option, like they provide an STN that isn't accurate, or first name, last name don't match, or something that's not, it doesn't work, it will send them an email saying your transfer request has been rejected due to consistency of data. You need to resubmit, and please look for your correct STN for your student. So those of you that have their STN available in the parent portal, good job, because that's going to be highly needed by parents to do this open transfer. So if those that you don't, I would consider it and do what's best for your district. Otherwise, I would definitely make it easy for parents to get that STN quickly, so that if they would like to do transfers. Okay, so that's where this is going to be. I'm going to show you the district capacity reporting page. This is where you will do your district capacity. There are 2 boxes for each grade. You have to do this at each site, obviously, and one time for each quarter. So this, as you can see, you come in here, it's school year 21-22 for quarter number 2, and the report status is closed, meaning I can't do anything for quarter 2 of school year 21-22 because that was back in October, October 1. We're moving on to next quarter, quarter 3. So this is January 1, and we will put a January 1 right here next to this so that we're not confused. And you can put in here, what is your total capacity of students? How many available slots do you have in that grade? Okay, you do that for each site. Total capacity, how many you have available right now. Okay, we know that this data will change probably daily until your capacity has been met, and then it will stay probably 0 in the available count forever. However, you do not have to update this except for one time each quarter, at the beginning of each quarter. It doesn't matter what it is on the 4th week of January. It matters on this report. It only matters on the 1st day of January, essentially what your capacity was at that point in time. That's all we care about. That's all we're required to do. What was your capacity at that point in time? That's it. Total and available. Okay, it may change in 2 weeks. That's okay. We're looking at a point in time. Okay, you do that and then you hit save and it's done. And then the next time, and then when we get closer to quarter 4, you'll see another next quarter right here, and you'll hit next quarter and you'll do quarter number 4. It opens up 15 days prior to the quarter coming due. So if for April 1, it'll open up halfway through March, essentially. It'll open up halfway through March. You'll be able to come in here and you'll have 2 weeks to enter, to change whatever it is that needs to be changed for that quarter, and you'll be done. You can run all these different reports. I hope this doesn't give me kids. I'm not real sure, but there's a bunch of different reports in here for you guys to search through. We're happy to make other reports if you find them necessary or needed or desired. Just let us know. We've got a couple of other enhancements already that we're talking about. And in administration, there's administrative reports. Open transfers approved. Student did not enroll. Open transfers approved, not enrolled after July 1. These are all for you guys. And that's for us. So I hope this gives you an idea of what this is going to look like. But basically, this is kind of housed all together. It's fairly simple. It's pretty intuitive. We're just looking for easy way to approve transfers or deny transfers based on the reasons that are outlined in statute. Are there any questions before? I'm sure I haven't even pulled up chat yet. So. For my Zoom meeting now.
Kelly's asking, when they enter a transfer, will it deduct from the total?
No, Kelly, we're not doing that. I'm not going to play that game with parents. We're not doing that yet. We may enhance the system at some point to do that, but really we are trying to put the capacity back in your hands. I do not want to be in that game. Nobody here wants to be in that game. We want the districts to be the ones that get to set their own capacity at all times. We don't want to be in that in your way. We want you to have that control. I hope that answers it. How do parents upload documentations for school to review attendance and discipline? So they don't. The accreditation office is saying that we should be asking our fellow districts for that information before we approve or deny those transfers. I don't know how that's going to work. I didn't love that answer myself. However, that was the answer I received. So we'll be asking our counterparts in school districts for those records to review, but prior to approving the transfer. I know that's going to put a delay on that. Can parents fill out a transfer for the next school year before January 1st? Okay, so there is a piece in here. They do not actually have to do that. So if you've already approved a transfer, I'm going to try to share my screen again. Let me find it before I get in here. Okay, yes. Okay. So in the district reports, there's an open transfer extension annual, okay? At the end of the year, you will see a list of all your approved transfers. Now, obviously, there aren't any right now for this school district because we removed them. But there will be a list of approved transfers for this school district that you approved. You will be able to go in there and check and say approved, 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 approved for next school year or denied or whatever, and hit save. So parents don't have to redo this. You just go through and say they're approved or they're denied for next year. We're extending them or we're not. So I hope that's very helpful. I hope that's really helpful to you. Please assure me again, when the parent submits the online fillable form, it will auto load into the wave for district viewing. Okay, yes, when they fill out the form on the SDE website. So you want to point them You don't want to have a form on your website for them to fill out. You want them to be going to the form that's on the SDE website. So if you have a link on your website, I would suggest updating that link to the link that is given to you at some point. It's not out there yet. I don't even have it, but it will be out there before the January 1st. The link that is the approved link for parents filling out transfer requests. If they fill it out there, it will automatically be in this back end system for you. Since the parent is not submitting the form for those that are extended, how will they be notified? We have an automatic email system that will tell them you have been extended. We are already having trouble getting discipline data. Don't I know it? We need some SDE communication superintendents. They should encourage their sites to provide data if requested. I will put that out there for you, Kelly. I will definitely have that conversation with Ryan and the powers that be here to remind maybe in a all district call that, hey, we need, and have it from Superintendent Hoffmeister say to this everyone, we need to be helping each other out with this. Will the system identify students not eligible for a virtual school transfer based on previous virtual enrollment during the year? Chris, that's a very good question. Yes, it will. There are business rules that follow the statute built into the system. You can only I don't know if you guys have read the full transfer law, but a student can only transfer out of their resident district twice in 1 year, period. End of story. It doesn't matter if it's virtual or open, does not matter. They can transfer back to their resident district as many times as they'd like, but they can only transfer twice out of their district without having both districts agree that that's the best thing for the student's education. Okay. So that is the law. That's what the statute says. The virtual is the same thing. You can only go to virtual twice. That is per school year. Thought the current students still had to fill out the open transfer again. That's correct. Sherry, I don't know what you mean by current students. If you mean currently transfer students that you've already approved for this year and they have to fill it out again, that is not correct. We're not making that a necessity, but because we are allowed, essentially you are approving it again without the parents having to fill out the form again. But they will get notified that they were approved or denied. Is there a time limit on how long you have to approve a transfer? There is not currently. There is not currently. There was a 72-hour time limit we had, and we've gotten told that is not realistic. So they've taken that off. There is a 72-hour limit on how long you have to enter a transfer request that you received by paper from a parent. So you cannot wait more than 72 hours to submit the actual request from a parent that's on paper. That would mess up the first come, first serve rule if you continue to wait on that. What if parents submit a transfer form to the front office? Is acceptable, or do they have to do it online only? Like I said, Becky, there is a form. We've sent it out. You guys have it. It's actually on the website where I showed you a minute ago in the accreditation student transfer section. There is a form for them to fill out. If they want to fill it out and bring it to the office, that's fine. However, if they do that, then it would be up to the district to come in here to the new transfer and enter all that information. I've heard from some folks, they said they're just going to have a computer in their front office or a tablet or something in their front office and ask the parents to fill out the form themselves instead of having the district type it all out. That would be perfectly acceptable. Otherwise, I mean, taking the form is perfectly acceptable. It's kind of up to the districts how they want to tackle that. But if they accept a form, you must come in here into the transfer system and actually input it yourself. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and we will stop the recording and we will stay here for any other questions.
Eric, this is Alicia from Mustang.
Give
Did
me
you
just a
say?
second, Alicia. Give me just a
Yep.
second.